live. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our collaboration Mondays. I think you already know me. I'm Kasie Oswald, and if you guys could introduce yourself while I get the iPad up and going. Let's start with our iPad guru, Cindy, this time.
Oh, yes.
Cindy?
I was just going to change my name.
Oh.
My name is Cindy. Yeah. So, yep, I work for VIPKid, and I've been with VIPKid for 2 years. And I am, in 2 days, I'm going to have my first real vacation in 2 years. So that's going to be awesome. And I also administer the VIPKid iPad users group, which is a really helpful group if you want to use iPad for teaching, or if you just want to, use it as a backup.
Great. Amanda Panda?
Hey, Amanda Panda in the house. Super swamped and busy over here in busy California. I'm Amanda Panda Teacher, amandapandateacher.com. Certainly visit my website for great links and resources. I'm busy giving out free pizza rewards and crafting fun stuff and shipping all over the country. So it's been busy. I want to say in advance, I have a little one who is home with no other adult in the house. And so he likes iPad and watching videos for a little bit, and he has some food, but he might see some little footsteps toss in, and I can't really close my door because there's no adults home except for me. So just heads up. So if I have to step out for a second, just heads up. I have little tiny kids at home. So
like I've said in our chats, these are for non-stress fun chats. So
I knew it would be okay.
We want to see the real you.
Yeah, can you call him?
Bring it on.
He's eating. Pretty soon he'll be up here. He already has a desk back here. Wait, I set up a little table for him.
Aww.
Like he has a desk and a little chair because dad and brother left him for the day. So he has nothing to do and he wants to play and I have to work.
How old is he, Amanda?
He's 6.
6. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's my age group, my kinder babies. Oh.
Yeah, first grader this year. So
love it. So Amanda, I do have a question for you. Someone asked how to get your free rewards, and somebody said your newsletter. How do they go about finding your newsletter?
Yeah. So it's really easy. amandapandateacher.com. Right when you click there, the very first box says enter your email. You put your email in there, and then I send every week a free reward system. This week is pizza. So make your own pizza. Oh, and sorry, whoop, that was wrong. I fixed it. That's make your own pizza. So it's like a printable pizza reward.
Fun.
So every week that's where they come out and they come to you automatically in email. So easy, just put your email in there and it comes to you automatically. You don't have to do anything.
Great. I am not a part of that. I have to get on that. When they said, oh, thanks for the newsletter or whatever, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, every week. So I make a new, and next week is Hot Pot. It is really cute. So you got to get on to get a free Hot Pot printable.
Yeah,
so next week I have a little Hot Pot. It's really cute. So last week was Disney. Every week I do something free. So this is.
How long does it take you to make that?
So truthfully, I'm a really quick computer techie person, and I've discovered the joys of Canva. So something like this would take me like 20 minutes to make because I've been making so many rewards. I know what works.
Yeah.
So like what works is you need a background to put stuff on and then you just stick stuff on. And so once you've got the format of knowing how to design and make a reward, and no one wants to print 10 pages. Everyone wants to print 2 pages.
Exactly. Yeah.
So once I've got that in my mind, I know how to create. I make quick rewards all the time. So,
and Amanda, can we go back and get previous ones, or do you just?
Yes, in my blog. So if you click on that same website where it says read blog post, I blog, and so there's a certificate. There's a Chinese New Year. I mean, every week I have something new, so they're all logged in with the links right there. So no, you don't have to necessarily get the email, but it's nice because you get it right to your box, and then you click right in the blog post. So that's the easy way to get freebies.
So I have one more question. So if you're using Canva, are those all like, I know on Canva you type in what you want, like say pizza. You type that in and you get a picture of a pizza and then you just make a thing out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I have an idea for a reward. It's different than what you're doing. It's completely different, but I have an idea that maybe nobody's done before. So that Canva might help me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Canva's free, so there's certain free parts of it. I think Kasie has a something or other for Canva,
They
a
messaged
link
me.
or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's free elements of it. I buy the pro version because I want all the good stuff,
Me
and because
too.
I
Okay.
make so many things. So now all of my projects I make are now in Canva. So and
Okay.
all my promotional stuff and flyers, it's all in Canva.
I paid for the 1 year, but I think I saw it's $9.99 a month.
That's
Yeah,
if you buy
I did.
a
I
year.
looked
monthly.
into it. I
What's
looked
that?
into it.
Oh, did you? It is $9.99. Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
buy the whole year in advance, it's $9.95. Otherwise, it's
Oh.
like $12.95,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's how it is.
give or
Okay.
take. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Mary, how you
Hi.
doing?
Good. I'm Mary Maple, and I am from thrivewithmary.com. And I am currently in quarantine in Canada. I drove up from Virginia to visit my mom, and in one more week, I get to go outside and see her. So I'm really super excited. So this is my makeshift classroom that I just hauled a bunch of stuff with me, and I am excited to actually see people. So I'm glad to be here.
Great. Marianne.
Okay, I'm Marianne. I don't have anything fancy like you ladies, but so I have a YouTube channel, but it hasn't been activated in a while. So I have something in mind, not necessarily VIPKid related, but something. So anyway, I'll throw it to you, Kasie, and see what you think. But
Oh, okay.
anyway, yeah, but I have been with VIPKid for almost 3 years, and I've taught almost 7,200 classes. So and still love
That's
it.
a lot.
So
That's a
yeah,
lot.
anyway.
That's great. I'm hoping that you put your intro video up on your YouTube channel. It was so cute.
Oh, thank you for OutSchool.
Yes, I love it.
Thanks.
Speaking of how I know Cindy just said her 2 year, my 1 year is almost here in 3 more days.
Wow,
So,
3 more days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, first of all, this background is an actual picture in my neighborhood. I took this
Oh,
picture
cool.
on a walk.
Oh,
One night we were on a walk, and this is actually the yard of a friend of mine. She used to live in this house that owns the yard, but it's an actual picture of in New Hampshire.
So cool.
And I also wanted to say, Kasie, somehow one of our first collaborations came up on my YouTube, and it was you and me and Evelyn, and I think it was Kelly. The 4 of us were talking about
wow.
YouTube and stuff. So it was really fun to go back and watch it.
Aw. That's awesome.
was
I
really
think
awesome.
the first or second one was when I was in Hawaii not feeling well and I didn't have a clue what I was doing.
Really? I don't know if that one was you were in Hawaii, but you weren't talking much.
I was scared. The first one was in my truck, right? I
Oh,
think I
that
in
was the first one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
And one more thing,
Yeah.
actually, the very first one that nobody knows about is just Cindy and I. Cindy was helping me get started and how to
that's
do all of this.
That's right. I don't think I saved that one. I don't know.
It's
That was like
under
a private one.
unlisted
Oh, is
or
it?
private because we
Oh,
said we didn't
cool.
know if we were going to publish this one.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay. And
Yeah.
Melissa, thanks for coming.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm teacher Melissa. I've been with VIPKid for a little over 3 years. Still love it. A lot of great things. Excited about this topic today to talk about staying positive because definitely a lot of positives still there.
Yeah, very good. Awesome. Great way to transition us into the topic today, Melissa. Thank you for that. And I want to say hi to everyone in the chat really quick. Kasie and Danny, Amanda. Hey, Amanda. Rebecca, Jason. Hey, Linda.
Jason,
Linda,
hello, Jason. It's
I
been a
know, I
while
haven't seen you in
since
a
I've
while.
seen him on a.
He was on his vacation. And Linda,
Yeah.
Linda won one of the prizes. Oh, she won Amanda Panda's prize. And I've
Oh.
already sent that. I sent that Thursday or Friday. So you should be getting that soon. And let's see. Did I say Rebecca's here?
Oh, Danny. Yeah, Danny
Hey,
and
Candy.
Candy. Hello, Candy.
Hey. All right. Oh, and Candy just had her 1 year too. I guess I just thought Candy had been teaching forever. She's just always been with us, I guess, since I started. So I guess that makes sense.
Yep. She's been coming to
And then
Kimberly
what's that?
Kimberly Hamilton.
Oh, hey, Kimberly.
That's a new name for me. And Linda Maychek.
Yeah, Linda's been coming to the lives.
Okay. Hi, Linda.
I was just gonna say one more. I saw a message from Marianne. Marianne, your personality is fancy. That's from Candy.
Oh, thank you, Candy. Fancy.
And Linda says she loves Melissa's background. Melissa, you want to tell her about your background?
Yeah, it's Amazon. It's just a vinyl background from Amazon. Looks like a chalkboard.
Oh, I didn't know it was a vinyl. I thought it was minicam.
No, this is
okay.
vinyl. So I can pull down the green screen in front of this, or I can roll this up and it has my other background behind there. So
Cute.
Okay.
I'm interchangeable. I have a transformer room.
Love it. All right, well, let's get started in today's topic. We are talking about staying positive. Somebody had brought this topic up to us in our collaboration Facebook group. If you're a VIPKid teacher and you like to collaborate with other teachers, go ahead to VIPKid Collaboration Station unofficial group. That's where somebody had posted that they wanted to hear about this. So the topic today, how do you stay positive with all of these changes that we've been going through? Whether it's VIPKid or our home changes right now, how are you staying positive? Anybody want to start?
For me, it's about staying in the moment, and not letting my thoughts go to what could be, what will be, but just focusing on the now, right? And in terms of VIPKid, what that means for me is focusing on the students I have in front of me. And they are still the same. I still love waking up in the morning and greeting them and doing my very best to help them learn. And yes, there are changes in the companies, and some things are more challenging and some aren't, but overall, I'm still super grateful for this job and happy to be able to have this be a way for me to work from home. So that's how I do it with my work. Personally, I mean, I live out in the country in a beautiful place in nature, so I'm not terribly challenged to be isolated where I live. But I tell you, I have a lot more compassion now that I'm in quarantine here in the city and can't even walk outside my door at all, right? So I'm like, oh, I get to have fresh air really soon. And it brought such a different appreciation for the kids in China when we were teaching them and knowing they were in lockdown. It's like, oh, this is just like, I just have to do this 2 weeks before I can get out. And they were doing this for months on end and seemingly staying positive as well. So
I mean, there were changes in them too. We could see as, you know, it had been a month and some of our kids are starting to show it a little bit. So
yes.
I remember us all talking like, oh, these poor babies have been stuck inside. Yeah, I remember those conversations.
Yeah.
Now, poor Mary's stuck inside. You guys know that would drive me crazy. I'd be hanging out the window by my feet, like, let me have some air, get me out.
1 foot out and 1 foot in.
Oh, I would too.
Can you go in the backyard, Mary? Oh, sorry.
No, this is a condo, so there is no backyard.
Oh.
There's a tiny little balcony, like about 6 feet by 2 feet, that I can go out on, but it overlooks the roof of a shopping center. So
I think I'd be on the roof just for extra space.
yeah, like no, I'm
really,
not doing that.
Too.
Yeah, so yeah, not yet, but soon.
Yeah, good question, Amanda. I didn't even think about how she could get some outside time. So, Cindy, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts when you first asked the question, I was thinking of the general company, because when I first started, life was normal. And I was really excited about doing the job. And I was just so overwhelmed with excitement. I was just like smiling from ear to ear. I talked about it constantly. And then I got involved in some of the Facebook groups. And then my bubble was bursting, like, because some of the groups were negative and some of the groups were really bringing me down. So that can happen even when everything's okay. Like right now we're adding a dimension to it. But so what I did at the beginning was I realized right away that I'm not going to dwell on people that are negative, and I'm going to find groups that are positive. And it happened that I started watching some YouTube videos, and I didn't always watch the popular people. I watched the people that had, only a few subscribers. And that's when I found Evelyn, and I just kept watching her videos, and I watched Danny's videos. And it was really fun because they didn't have very many subscribers. So they, I just encouraged them and they encouraged me. And then I joined Micah's group, which was a weight loss group, and just always looking for good and positive things to go. And I know that some people do have a negative time, and that's really hard. I don't want to just ignore those people. But I wasn't having a negative time, so I didn't want to dwell on it, because I think the more you dwell on it and the more scared you get about like not getting bookings or whatever, it's going to end up happening. So far my bookings have been okay and everything. And then add the coronavirus to it. I just wanted to say VIPKid has been a great thing for me right now. And I was just telling my husband that if I didn't have this, I might have been more discouraged, because this got me up every day. This helped me find friends, people that I've been already connected to. And it was like a easy transition. I'm home, but I still have all my friends to talk to online. So to me, when the virus hit, it was actually something that's been carrying me through in a positive way. So I've really been blessed by everything and everyone, and nothing really negative has really hit me yet. So I guess I've been fortunate in that way. So
good. Someone else?
Well, I just was,
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think for me, it just takes a conscientious effort to like look at it at a different perspective. So like everybody was all up in arms, they're changing the incentives or whatever. But if you are helping people, like on my Facebook page, there's a lot of new people coming in, and I referred somebody the week before last, and so you tell these people, oh, you get to work from home, and you're going to make $8 a class, and then you'll get 80 cents more than that for your first 20 classes, and $1.20 for classes 20 through 40. And they're just like, oh my gosh, really? To work from home in my pajamas, And it's like, if you look at it from their perspective, like, hey, this is still a really good deal, right? Like we still have it really good. Most of us not walking that far away from our bed to teach, in the morning. And so I just kind of thought, I really think for everything, we just need to make a conscious effort to kind of look at it that way. And then the other thing, just dealing with the pay scale, because there's a lot of talk about it on my Facebook page and with referrals, but there is that side where like you have to teach more in order to kind of make up that difference or whatever for most teachers. And there are the lucky few who teach so many that they're probably going to make more anyway. But for the majority of teachers, they're having to like up the amount that they're working. And
I have a question about that. So like if I've already signed my contract and I'm on the old pay scale, is that going to change like in January that I'm going to be on the new one? So
when you get your next contract after August, it will have the new incentives on it.
So I'll be like per class will be back to whatever their thing is, or do I keep my
you'll be on
hourly?
the new incentive tier. So you'll be assigned a tier based on the number of classes you've taught, and then you'll get the little incentives based on the tier chart. You won't get your dollar participation and dollar,
but I'll keep my per class amount.
Yeah, you'll keep your base pay.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, base pay stays the same. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I think I knew that before, but I forgot. It's too many things have happened.
It is. It's a lot. And like that, it's hard to spin it. But one thing that kind of helped me was, I've been here a while, right? Been through a lot of changes. I know, like most of us have. but I have seen that the company listens. And even though it is harder to kind of see that perspective here, it's there because everyone was saying, why does my pay depend on parent feedback? And essentially what they did
Yeah,
was
that's
take that
true.
away. It no longer has anything
Yeah.
to do with parent feedback. It has to do with how much you teach. And so they in a way, I know everybody is still, their feathers are ruffled, but in a way they were listening. And I think they tried their best without it costing them an arm and a leg more, right? They tried to accommodate it and make it be based on something we could manage, that we, because technically you can open more classes if you want to make more money. So anyway, that's another perspective to look at.
Amanda's like,
Can't open more classes. I can't.
I said technically. I didn't say it was a good idea.
That's the thing, though. They say it's part-time.
Yeah.
Part-time. So most people want to do it part-time. They don't necessarily want to do, a million classes. It's exhausting.
It is.
Does anyone plan on opening more classes?
I really don't. I don't.
I've started cutting back. I'm on the regular pay scale right now, but I've started cutting back because I'm so tired. Yeah. I need to live.
Yeah, I'm on.
Marianne's like tired, schmired.
I still have 5 kids at home. I have 5 kids at home. So.
Totally joking with you. I know.
Yeah.
I'm on track to get the raise for the new contract renewal. So with that, I'll basically make the same, right?
Right.
So
that's me too. That's me too.
So I'm hoping for that. I don't sign until October. It doesn't start till November, and feedback, of course, is still really down. So I'm hoping I'm still going to hit that 22% that they lowered it to, but everything else I should meet.
Good.
I think everyone it's affecting a little bit different. Like some people, East Coast people, I mean, you can open more classes. You have the time, like your time to you, 5:30 is early. And to California people, we are pissed off. Like we cannot open more classes. I cannot wake up at 1 a.m. Like I have little kids at home. So for the next adjustment will be my last base pay adjustment. I'll be about even, and that will be what my salary will be. I can't, in order for me to break even, I have to open more than 200 classes. My highest month, and I think I almost died, I did 185. That's teaching nights and mornings. And that's waking up at 2 in the morning. 2 to 5 a.m. is our winter time. Like I can only get 2, 4, 6 classes. I can't do blocks and I cannot sleep during the day. I have kids. So I think everyone has a different experience. So I think
definitely.
As we have a conversation,
technically you could open those spots. So I think they were saying like it's in your hand, but it doesn't mean that like it's reasonable for everybody to do that. I don't think anybody is like saying
everybody
like,
is different.
Yeah.
Everybody is different. But recognize that like some people are harder hit. Some people that teach a whole bunch of classes are actually getting a raise. So like it just depends on your experience. And so I think I'm sorry if I jumped in and it wasn't my turn. I think for me, like I just have to remember that like being pissed off and mad and writing nasty stuff in Facebook groups and revolting and yelling at each other and being mad is just like a bad feeling that's not going to change a single thing.
Yeah.
Like I can be pissed off. I can be California mad. I could be like, Pacific Coast time is the worst. I mean, I could really just go off the hook.
Or you can improve your website and do rewards and encourage people and use your energy. Use your energy to increase your business on the other side.
Yeah. And then your friends are here buying your props and stuff. So we'll get your business. No worries.
Expand, diversify, right?
There's some things to work on that you can change. And in some things you cannot change. We cannot control the company. There was nothing we could do about the base rate adjustment. It is what it is. It is done. And so I was upset for 2 days and then I was like, this is a waste of darn time. And so now I'm working hard to get my last base rate pay adjustment in the month of September and October. I'm going to be working 6 days a week, like waking up for 4 to 6 a.m. classes. Not my preference, but I'm going to do it because I know this is my last chance. And so I'm just going to do what I got to do and not have hurt feelings. Know that now I can be a little more free. So I don't have to worry about those teacher no-shows affecting my raise anymore. I don't have to wake up for all those PPT times to get in 600 of them in the year. I don't have to try to get 1,200 classes. I can just do what I want. I told my husband the month of December, my birthday and Christmas, I'm not teaching any classes. I would never have done that before if the pay rate scale was changed. Yeah, I've worked for 3 years. Like I've woken up at 2 a.m. on Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's. I'm done. So I'm going to tell my parents December is Teacher Amanda's holiday. So because it's my kid's birthday, my birthday, will probably be in quarantine. I don't even know what's going to happen. And so like I'm going to take care of myself, but I'm not going to have to worry about base rate pay adjustments and waking up for PPT times. I'm going to do what's good for me.
Or
and
cancellations either.
Yeah, exactly. Cancellations.
Yeah, I mean, like now I feel like a lot more teachers are going to feel like they can use those 6 cancellations because it doesn't affect that percentage to get the raise. And so now there is a little bit more leeway to like, I've got to cancel because I'm sick or my kid's sick. It's not going to affect your pay. It's not going to affect your raise. And Candy said she disagreed because no one could get a raise. And that's true. No one can get a base rate adjustment. However, the more classes you teach, you are essentially giving yourself a raise. And I don't mean like the more classes every day. I mean like over that lifetime, that tier, if you move up from tier 7 to tier 8, you're going to be getting a little bit of a raise. Now, I'm not saying that's equivalent, and I'm not saying so everyone should be happy. I'm just saying that's kind of like the push off there, right? Cancellations don't affect it. Deciding not to teach for December, like Amanda, there are like, maybe we have to look through this really little silver lining, but it's there. There are good things. I mean, I'm one of the teachers that never used cancellations. And now I'm thinking like, I might cancel, if I'm sick, I'm not going to teach through the flu because it's not, it's there for me.
Yeah. And what are the cancellation rules on our base pay raise right now?
So it's a percentage of how much
of
you
your
teach.
total classes.
Okay.
In that contract, in the in the year.
And it's usually like that. It's usually equivalent to like 2 cancels, which is three classes on this. Well, 3 classes is 1, right?
Yeah. So I have 1 cancel, so that's not going to affect my base pay rate.
No,
right?
I think I have 1 cancel too.
Okay, good.
I think my biggest one is the feedback from parents. I have been 30% like every month until July. I was 8%. So I actually have been messaging, begging in WeChat, please. But luckily it's over the whole course of that year contract to get that next base rate. It's the total number of apples divided by total classes taught. That gives you the percentage.
Yeah.
So if you want to know yours, contact VIPKid in the ticket and ask them to tell you in very simple sentences, please tell me my total number of classes. Please tell me my total number of PPT. Please tell me my number of 5 apples, and they can give you back the exact amount. And so I'm calculating for July with a plan. So
there you go. Okay. Good. Marianne.
Okay. So I was just going to say, so I've been, so I signed my 6th contract a couple months ago and have worked some long shifts, sometimes 16 in a row. And it gets to be a long night, but my kids are older, so I don't have to worry about staying up during the day if I don't want to. But one of the things that kind of keeps me going, I mean, I liked how VIPKid has changed over the years. That I think they do try to listen and send surveys, and they adjust and adapt, and it's never going to make everybody happy. That's just the bottom line. For me, I did not get my other raise because I had technical issues. So I got a teacher no-show, even though I'm literally sitting right here in front of the computer. So there was talk like, why don't they change the percentage of if you only teach 50 classes a month versus 400? I mean, you could argue every reason, you know what I'm saying? So the point is, I just learned to accept things as they are. I have this, I was at a craft show a few years ago and I bought this, I don't know, verse I have on my wall, and it just says, accept things as they are, not how you want them to be. Because for many years, I would, my husband and I would go somewhere and I would be like, oh, that's so stupid that they, don't allow, I don't know, whatever, whatever the rules were. And he's like, it's just how it is. It's just how it is. Yeah. And so it took me a long time to realize that, what are you going to do about it? I mean, you can have a voice, I guess, and people, but sometimes you just have to accept things the way they are. And so that's what I've tried to do. And it's really helped. Sometimes I wake up and I have worked, when I was sick, I have like a bulging disc in my back. I don't know. I just have back issues. And one time my back hurt so bad and I'm crying and I'm like, how am I going to teach? So I got up an hour before. It took me 10 minutes to walk down the stairs. And I just sat there though. I had my foam roller and I taught and I knew that it was going to be over soon and I could go back to bed. Yeah. So I don't know, for me, that has helped. Just accept things the way they are. There's nothing we can do about it. You can quit and go find another job. And, but the fact that, like many have said, work in your pajamas, there's so many benefits. I hardly spend any money on gas. Right. I don't have to go anywhere. Yeah. I mean, if I don't know, there's a lot of positives to this job, and you just accept the changes and you deal with it or you don't. I mean, kind of the bottom line. So anyway.
I don't know if I'm making this up, but wasn't there a Facebook thing like, give me coffee for the changes I can make and wine for the things I can't? Or did I just make that up?
I love that.
That's a meme. You should make a meme of that. That's brilliant.
I think I saw it somewhere. I'm not really good at making things up, but Cindy, you're muted.
No wonder you're not listening to me. Okay. So, no, I just wanted to say too that I was working full-time teaching. Like the last 2 years that I started VIPKid, I would teach a couple classes in the morning, do my whole school thing, teach on the weekends, on Sundays, everything. And then when we had the coronavirus, I came home and I opened extra slots and I was able to homeschool. And actually this year I'm going to homeschool my kids. And it's not because I'm afraid of the virus, really. It's just because, number one, I was kind of thinking about it already because I teach and all my money goes back to the school. And so I'm kind of like, we figured out how much money I made, and I was spending as much money on gas and extras as I was for the actual school. So all my money for VIPKid was going to do school too. So I was working 2 jobs and it's all going to the school. But when I stayed home, then I wasn't driving, I wasn't paying for extra stuff. Right. And I've been able to buy things that I bought a refrigerator. Our refrigerator broke. And I've been able to save money as well. And so now I'm going to buy curriculum for my kids. I'm paying for it and I'm going to buy it with my VIPKid, but I'm still going to be ahead financially. Good. So it's been a really good thing for me.
And take your family out to lunch.
Yeah. And actually be with my family and not kill myself. And my husband's happier too, because I was coming home at 5 or 6 and I was exhausted. So now I can actually make dinner and I'm home and, but we can also go see people. Like I'm not tied to the house. There are things we can do, So anyway.
I was going to say too, when you talk about the schedule, and it's wonderful. Like I'm going on vacation. Our family is for the first time in many years. And next we leave Sunday. And what's cool is it's like I was able to just take whatever days I needed. During when China was in quarantine back in January, typically during Chinese New Year, our bookings are really low because they're off, right? And so working from home, this job, I didn't lose any money. In fact, I ended up teaching the most I've ever taught. I was
Yeah.
teaching like 20 classes a day because I could. I
Mhm.
could
Right.
open up bookings. It wasn't like, sorry.
Plus, we were serving them, like they were going through it too. So we
Mhm.
were sort of there. We felt like we wanted to be there for them.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like, you know.
Right. So it's like the fact that I had this opportunity to teach as many classes as I wanted, and then other months I'm like, I don't really feel like teaching that much. And so we have such control over our schedule. And in a regular job, you can't do that. You can't go,
That's
I'm
true.
gonna come in at 10.
Yeah,
I don't feel like coming in early,
Mhm.
or I want to leave early. So that's, to me, that's such a blessing, because if you have something going on or you don't want to work a certain day that you normally do, you could do that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so another positive. So
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I want to piggyback on that, because there's no way I could come to Canada, which with its mandatory 2-week quarantine,
Yeah.
before I even get to see anybody.
Yeah.
So this is the first time that I've traveled to visit my mom, and I've taken my work with me.
Mhm.
But what a blessing. You know, I am
And
here.
you're healthy and you're still okay, so you can still keep working.
Oh yeah, like I'm not sick. I'm just in quarantine because that's
Yeah.
the requirement of the Canadian government.
Yeah.
They call every couple of days to make sure I am in quarantine.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
they're handling.
As long as they don't give you a bracelet. I mean, that's a little
I was just gonna
different.
say they probably have a GPS on her phone. They know
I'm
whether
glad
she
you're
leaves that
being
room.
good. I'm glad you're being good. I don't want to see you in the news, Mary.
Yeah, well,
Um,
you know, they offer $1 million fine and 3 years in prison for violating it. So I think I'm staying put. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
wow.
Oh
Canada
my
is not playing.
word.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I wanted
Wow.
to say,
Yeah.
some of you know, my husband's a contractor, and we have lots of friends that are contractors, and contracts change all the time, guys. It's not just with VIPKid. Most of them, we didn't get one, but most of them were offered a rental car while they were there for a year or whatever. And then their contract changed, and then all of a sudden they didn't get a rental car anymore.
Mm.
You know, contracts change with every company, every contract. When it ends, the new one comes, and it's like, okay, what do you have in store for me? Or it ends, and
Exactly.
guess what? You don't have a job. So I'm thankful my contract is ending and the new one is starting with a job. It has some changes in it, but you know, I'm just gonna roll with it. And really, the kids are still there waiting for us. So when I wake
Exactly.
up and I'm like, oh man, what am I gonna do? You know, do I feel like getting up today? I'm like, ooh, who needs me this morning? Who's my first student? You know, and I think about it, who needs me or who can I help this morning? And then you look and you're like, oh, I know this one. Let's go, you know? So
I think what's cool too is the longer you teach, you start getting more regular students. And I love it because most of my schedule now, you know,
Yeah.
are regular students. So I know them, I've developed a relationship. I get to see them. Some of them I teach exclusively, which is so nice because I get to see them for each lesson so I can build upon the lesson. And it's so fun, you know?
Yes.
So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I wanted to add to that too, because Kasie mentioned first thing in the morning. Like we also have a group on the side. I think everybody here is in it. But maybe people in the chat, you know, we've become friends off of VIPKid. Well, obviously. But and that's really cool too, is we can check in with each other. And that's been a really great benefit of being in the teacher community. So finding your friends and being supportive, and usually that comes with extending a friendship yourself first, you know, putting yourself out there and saying, okay, I want to follow maybe on YouTube or whatever, and then posting in groups, finding a group you're interested in, and then just being a part of it, and then the friendships grow. So that's been a real blessing.
I'm laughing because I'm thinking, and someone's always awake in that group.
That's
It can happen
true.
anytime, and somebody's in there awake.
And my husband's like, "What? Who's messaging you at 4 a.m.?" I'm like,
Oh,
"Well, it's not really just for me, but
it's Jake from State Farm. No.
I have to turn off my notifications.
Oh, right.
You get so
I think
many.
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I put
I
it
think
to
I
quiet.
do have a sleep. Yeah, a sleep thing.
Yeah.
I don't get too many beeps during the night, but I do
Oh,
have
that's so
kids
funny
though
because
too.
my husband said that. I was like responding at like 12:30 the other night, and he was like, "Be sure to ask Jake what he's wearing." I was like,
That's great.
Don't ask that question at 12:30 at night.
Wanted to add something that I did. So
Okay.
just speaking about like the
It could be orange.
our
I'm sorry, I
country
could.
and stuff going on, like all the things that in our world that are so depressing, everyone's upset about. I
Yeah.
made a list and I wrote down all the things that are good that came out of the quarantine and the coronavirus in our family. My husband gets to work from home instead of driving and commuting for an hour or two. And he works in Burbank, which is down south of here in LA. When he would do that, he would leave in the afternoon and he wouldn't come home and drive till like 3 or 4 in the morning. We were like two ships passing in the night. I would wake
Yeah.
up and he would come to bed, and I would never know, like, is he driving safe? Is he coming home? He is here all the time. That is a huge blessing. Also, I have been taking with my kids, and I'm just going to hold up a few to show you, art
Yay.
class every week. I have always wanted to go to one of those paint places and, do those paint companies, but I never have time to like go out and do the paintings. So
Ah,
now I do it on Zoom. This is our pile of paintings. We've done 20 paintings, 20 different classes
Wow.
that's
with an
great.
online teacher. So my kids and I, we all sit down on
Oh,
Wednesdays at 1 o'clock and we do art together. We even painted Dino like for a meetup.
Oh,
I
cute.
And so look at all of the joy that I have to save from
Cute.
what I did with my kids during quarantine. So I want to
Mhm.
tell you,
Awesome.
if you're discouraged, sit down and make a list.
Mhm.
Go and really think about what is it that's gotten better, because it's so easy with the news and the press and the president and all that stuff to
Mhm.
really think how bad everything is. Really, like, it is so wonderful, like that this
Yeah.
is what I've done with my kids, and this is the legacy I have in this hard time that my husband was having.
Yeah.
We can be together. We did all this paint. So find something you like to do and really just do it. I'm busy all the time. Like, I spend hours doing my crafting. I'm teaching VIP
Mm-hmm.
Kid, but you know what? I made time for this, and this was really valuable. And the kids painting has gotten better, and me too.
That's a
So
So
great idea.
it's fun.
so
I love
So
it.
wonderful.
who is
That
that
is.
with, Amanda? Is it a company near you?
There's one in your local area. So like there's paint places everywhere. But the thing
Mm-hmm.
about ours is that you can do it online and you can sign up for any Zoom that does a paint company. They're all doing them on Zoom now. So
Yeah.
you can even find some free ones. So basically I got paint, I got a little table cover, I got this paper from Walmart, and we just set up every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Pacific Coast time. It's called tipsyartist.com,
Cute.
and Tipsy TIPSEE, like Tipsy Artists, because they're really one of those sip and paint companies,
Yeah.
but now they do online classes for kids. So we've done it since the quarantine. Every single week, that was like our online class, and my kids just loved it. And I always wanted to do it, and now I've done 20. So isn't that just amazing?
Wow,
That's
that
Like
is
what a
great.
nice.
blessing it
That's
is that
really great.
we
You
had
know,
time.
I'm gonna check the chat more. I'm sorry, guys, I haven't been in the chat box very much, but I'd like to know something positive that you've been doing. I think Amanda had a great idea with that. So if you get a chance, please post something, anything positive that you've done during quarantine. We'd love to hear it. And someone was about to say something while while you guys chat. I want to check the chat box because there's a bunch of people that I haven't met before and
Yeah.
just want to say, oh, new things. Yeah.
New things.
Welcome to everybody that's here. Monique says she can relate to being in California and having kids at home too. I know Rebecca said above, her littles at home. She doesn't have much time with the littles by herself too. I am reading your posts, guys. I just haven't gotten through them all. So, yeah. Anybody else want to say something positive that they have right now with quarantine?
Well, I
going
got
on?
a dog for 16 years. I've said no to my kids every time they ask. I said, they're a lot of work. You have to train them. They pee all over the place. They chew stuff up. They take a lot of time, and we don't have it because we're go go go. But we did. We got a dog, and because we're here, we all are at home, and we have time to train him and I don't know, get all that kind of over with, puppy stage before, hopefully we get to go again. And so, and I really, I've seen a change in my children. Everyone seems happier. I think I wholeheartedly have flipped on my view of dogs being healthy or making you healthier or whatever, because I've seen, I have teens and I worry a little bit about depression, especially just being stuck at home. And I've seen that lift a little bit, and just having a reason to get up, right? Because you have to go get the dog out of the kennel, it has just, they're up. And so then they find something to do and they're more productive. And so anyway, that's my new thing.
So
That's awesome.
I'm waiting for a call from the vet. I think I've told you guys, but my daughter works for a vet, and somebody brought in a dog that they think's a stray. So she sent me a picture of this pit bull, part pit, I think. And she has these sad eyes. So they're supposed to call me if she still needs a home. So I'm waiting today. And I've been saying no to a dog for the longest time too. And I think this last couple of months, I'm like, oh, I think I'm ready. And then this one, my daughter posted this picture like, Mom, she needs you. And I'm like, I need her. So
that's so sweet.
If it's not her, it's probably going to be one soon. There's a puppy that needs me somewhere.
I think cute. Micah said, he put it in the chat that they've been fostering kittens. So I've been watching that on Facebook too. And that's definitely helping, the shelters be overcrowded and of course probably hard to get people there to work now too. So
and I know Danny said she loves teaching cross-culturally. It's special.
It is.
It really is. It is.
Oh, did you see what Candy said? She said she learned to do her own nails during quarantine. She's taking 40 a week.
Oh,
wow.
I cut my own hair.
Oh, I haven't gotten that brave yet.
I donated my hair to children with hair loss. I've done it twice. So I shipped it in the mail. So I went in the bathroom and I made ponytails and I went, and this is how it ended up. So it's really a mess, but I don't really care because it's all curly. You can't even tell. So when I go back to the beauty parlor, the hairdresser is going to be like, wow, this is really uneven, but I don't know. It's all right for now.
That's awesome.
I liked it when you had it down the other day and it was all in curls. It was super cute.
Yeah, it's curly. It's really nice with the headphones too, because I just go like this and I'm ready. Hello. Hi, students. It's wonderful.
The older I get, the curly my hair gets. And I've never had curls before. I get out of the shower and I've got curls. I'm like, where did these come from? I've never had curls. So let's see. Anybody else? I'm still reading the chat.
My husband started a diet right before he started it right before we were all shut down, but he didn't really make a big deal out of it. But once we were shut down, he couldn't go to the gym or anything. So it was thinking he wouldn't keep up with it, but he's lost up 45 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. So he had to go get a whole new suit. His goal was to be in shape for the wedding, but he looks like a different person. It's really weird.
That's neat.
You got a new husband.
It's really weird. I'm like, I'm done. You don't need to lose any more, but we'll see. I'm happy for him because he comes from his family. They are all bigger boned and they all sort of feel like they can't lose weight. So I'm happy for him that he made that progress.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I have 8 siblings, and so now we have sibling game night every Monday night, and it's so much fun.
Oh, that's great.
We normally would never have done that, but now that, I'm in the US, everyone else is in Canada, and I get to see them every week. It's so much fun that they've made the efforts to stay connected since they can't see each other. So that's been such a positive that's come out of this. I think we'll probably keep doing that into the future, regardless of what happens.
Are you going to see them when you see your mother?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. So after my quarantine is done, in order for me to go to my mom at assisted living, I need to get a negative COVID test. And then after that, I can see her. But once I start interacting with other people, then I won't be able to go in and see her. So I have to do all my visiting with mom for a week or a week and a half or whatever I choose to do. And then Well, I can go and do like like what do you call it? Socially distanced visiting on people's porches, just not in their homes. So I
Okay.
will do
Okay.
that. Yeah, but just doing whatever I can to keep mom safe by the time I
Yeah.
get out of here. Yeah.
Good.
So
I wanted to
How
say
old is
something
your
else
mom?
positive.
my mom will
Sorry.
be 90 in December.
Wow.
So,
Wow. Good for her. Wow. Awesome.
so
I want to say something else positive too. I think my students keep me going too and keep me happy. So I have level 5 students, 2 of them. One student that I've taught for almost 3 years in September, and he took a whole month off so he could cram for the very big middle school exam. He came back and told me after his month off, I had 4 classes with him last week because now he's doubling up. I'm like, oh my gosh, kid, I see you at 10:30 and then I see you at 11:30. See you in a few minutes. And he told me that he scored the highest in English. I don't understand how their grades work, but he said his score was A1. And then he said, "Oh, teacher, my Chinese and math was not good."
Oh,
And I was like,
no.
"What happened?" And he said, "Those were A2, teacher." And I was like, "Oh, and did you do your best?" Because remember, our students are ranked by how their performance is, and if they are not the highest scorers or one of the few
Mhm.
highest, they think they failed. So
Yeah.
even though his score may be just a little below others, if he wasn't the top level, it wasn't good enough for him. He was the top level in English, so that was a smile. But
Mhm.
Chinese and math was so hard, teacher. I got A2. It was not good, and my mom is not happy. And I was like, "Oh, sorry, dude."
Oh, no.
But I've had multiple students say how their exams were very good, how their English
Mhm.
scores were very high, how they're the highest scores in their English, and that's always makes me so happy
Yeah.
because that's why they're taking English classes. And so every time I see a kid that has improved or makes improvement, that just makes my joy even more.
Yeah.
So
Well, I agree. I had one tell me last week. That's right. Mom came in. He didn't tell me. Mom came in the screen and was like, "Guess what? He got 100." I'm like, "Yes." That made me feel better because I always worry about him. I think I've told you guys before. He's, a little bit behind in his reading and stuff, but he tries really hard. And so I'm always like writing to other teachers, like, he needs wait time. You give him wait time, he can come up with it. But we go over 25. We go over 28.
Don't tell Kelly.
I know. Sorry, Kelly.
Hey, you know what? I got a message today that my student was late. Well, no, I signed in like 5 minutes ahead of time. And then when time class started, something weird was going on. I've never seen it happen before. And I didn't know if it was her or me. But the fireman actually sent me a message and asked if I could teach an extra 5 minutes, which I could because I didn't have a student afterward.
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened in since way when I first started. That was a thing. But have you guys had that happen?
I have, but they, you don't have to because you
No,
can't. Like if there's a
I
class
could
after,
today.
you couldn't do
Yeah.
it anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like when I see these new teachers that feel, pressured because of what the fireman says, they are there trying to help the parents. I mean, they help us too,
Right.
but the policy is what we know in our contract. So I don't know. I'm just always like, do it if you want.
I could
but
today.
Right.
Yeah.
I figured they're
today,
like,
but
well,
not
it's not gonna.
normally.
Yeah, sorry. I just figure they figure like, well, it's not gonna hurt to ask, right?
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So the parent can see they
I was kind of
tried or
surprised.
something. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, maybe that's it.
like I said, I'm way behind in the chat still. Micah, you said this is not the time we want to be positive. Did I miss something above, or what do you mean this is not the time we want to be positive? I think we always need to try to be positive. But I'm
What's the
still way up.
alternative?
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip down. I see something in all caps, and all caps means that's for one of us on the panel. So I'm gonna look something positive.
Maybe he needs to come on here and talk to us.
Yeah, right. I start a master's in teaching elementary ed September 1st. Awesome, Renee.
Yay, Renee. That's awesome.
Wow, that's great.
So I think I told you my family from Boston was just here, and I've noticed that I keep skipping my R's again. So I don't know why. It happens every time. Fostering kittens. So cute. I have been feeding a stray mommy cat and kitten in my yard. Aww. Hello, Alexandra. How did you get in from the USA to Canada? I thought our borders. I thought our borders were closed. I haven't seen my American fiance since March, and we thought he
Oh,
wasn't able to come.
wow.
Any advice?
Oh, wow.
Okay, yes, so I'm Canadian. I only became an American citizen
Oh, that's right.
3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago.
Oh,
So
wow.
because I'm Canadian, I have a right to come into my own country. Now, since July 1st or sometime in the last 4 weeks or so, if you are an immediate relative of a Canadian, if you're
Oh.
not a Canadian citizen, but you're an immediate relative of a Canadian citizen, like you need to go visit your mom or your husband or your kids, you're allowed to cross with documentation. But otherwise, yes, the border is closed, but not to citizens. So
Great. Glad you could answer that one. Butterflies are sweet.
And I will say this, I will tell you this. I'm going to be honest right now. Where I live, it's very country-ish, like right here. This is sort of right near where I live on a walk, and it's very comfortable. I'm very fine. I'm not sick or anything. My kids are fine. But going to the store when you live in the country and you go in and you just, I mean, I almost broke down crying because I was in the store minding my business, getting a couple things, and this little girl walked by. And she had a mask on, and I smiled at her, and I realized she can't even see my smile, and that hit me like a ton of bricks, and my heart just breaks for the kids. But I'm glad that we can be positive, but we do need to pray for our country and pray for our kids. But I was just there to get some milk, and it just I was like, I'm gonna be a good girl, I'm gonna wear my mask and mind my business. And it was just too much. It just was really hard.
I saw
so I don't want to be a
something.
downer, but
I saw something not too long ago that this lady said, my mom always told me to smile with my eyes. And she said, I never really understood it. And now that we're all wearing masks, I look at eyes and to see, people's reactions and stuff. And maybe we'll get to notice other features on people other than just,
Your smile.
sometimes, they have a fake smile. You might be able to start, learning all of these different, I don't know. You know me.
I don't know. I just hope we pray and it all, changes and we're big surprise and things are better. I mean, I just can't imagine living like this forever.
My husband and I did say the other day there's a little guy walking in the store with his little mask on. I'm like, it is like normal for them. This is what they know right now. Where before they would walk in a hospital and be like, yeah, looking at
that's true. Because my kids, when they were young, they did not like people with masks on. Like, it was kind of scary for them.
Alexandra said, thank you, Mary. I guess we have to wait it out. We'd be married by now if COVID hadn't happened.
Oh, wow. My daughter's getting married on Friday. So she's doing it. She's like, jumping through hoops. She's lost a lot of money because she's, gotten this venue. They canceled. They don't give her money back. She had this trip planned. She had to cancel and do something else. And then she has to fight to get her money back. But she's still doing it. She's been engaged for like a year and they've dated for a while before that. So
what a story they're going to have.
Yeah, she is a fighter, that girl. She just finished her first. She went to a Christian college, so she had to take some classes before she went into nursing school to prove that she is smart. So she took 3 classes, and last week she called me. She's like, I have to do this math. So I tutored her for like an hour. The next day, the teacher said that she could have used a calculator. But she learned the whole thing without the calculator, but then she got all A's on her classes. And so now she's all done and now it's wedding time. So
it's awesome.
My kid was the opposite of yours, Cindy. When they found out COVID was coming, they hurried up and got married. and then they moved for his new job.
That's probably what I would have done.
Yeah, and then he got COVID.
But
So
she has worked so hard because we have 13 kids,
mhm.
and we have one in Colorado, one in South Carolina, one that's been traveling around, 5 up here, 2 in another town. So she has worked so hard, and she has gotten everybody to come.
Wow. that's
So it's going to be the first time everybody's been together in a long time. So it's going to be
Sweet. That's going to be
epic,
so nice.
as they say.
I hope you get your big picture that you're waiting for.
Yeah.
Mhm. Amanda L said, my heart breaks for my kids also. It's so sad. They have canceled school for the year. I just want them to have positive experiences.
Where? Who said
and here in
that?
Ohio, it is very bad.
Oh,
Yeah, for the year. Wow.
who said that?
Amanda L.
Amanda. Okay. Because I decided to homeschool before. I think
Yeah.
the school I went to is going to have school, but they're going to have so many rules. I'm like, I don't need to do that. Like, you know, and they can have fewer kids without us there, you know, and so they can separate. They
13
can
fewer.
separate better without us. Well, no, only 3 at home now to teach. 3 that are in school.
But, you know, being someone that homeschooled my son all the way through, you know, it's really interesting to see all these people going into homeschooling. And I'm really happy that, as challenging as it may be for some parents, I think it's also a really big opportunity for children to learn in a whole other way. And I'm excited about what that might look like for people.
I'm just worried about the ones that aren't actually going to do what needs to be done.
Yeah, that's true.
Those are the ones that I'm worried about.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of kids that will
There
suffer.
will be a lot of parents who will step up though, and maybe, you know, people will look around and bring in a kid, you know, neighbor kid that needs help, or you know, hopefully that and you know, I know for us, we have a family that my kids play with, and they have a special needs kid. And they have 2 normal kids and 1 special needs, and the mom is actually going to homeschool the 2, and then the special needs one, they have a program where they're going to rotate, so there's not going to have a big group of kids, but they're going to let him go to school like twice a week, and they have a whole program so that he's special needs and he gets the help that he needs. So maybe things like that will happen as more people homeschool. It makes more room for they can bring kids in and still have a class, but it's fewer students. You know, I don't know. It should be interesting.
Hello, Mrs. Jones. I don't know that I've seen you here before. Thanks for coming. She said, kids are adaptable. They will be fine. It is our new norm. Wearing a mask is a sign of respect to others, so I wear it proudly. Jason said Tyra Banks calls it smizing. I guess smiling with your eyes is smizing.
Smizing.
So good. All right, I think that's Danny said, I know, Cindy, I think that way too. More space for those whose parents have to leave to work and need school. It's not forever. Right, very good. Well,
It's
what do
a
you guys
different
think?
time, not
What's
forever. It's a different time. It's not forever.
That's right.
Unless you enjoy it so much and it ends up being your forever, right? The kids love it and they stay home with you for the next.
Well, the homeschooling could be that, but the quarantining and the limitations don't have to be forever.
I was thinking of it on the other side. You know me, everything is like hunky-dory and rainbows. Just no glitter.
Well, just remember, you know, we're here and we talked a lot about like new things and time with family and during the quarantine, but just remember to take that. I think especially, and this is not just VIPKid related, but just working at home related in quarantine. Remember to take that time for yourself. Like remember to kind of shut off the work, or, you know, I started taking 1 day a week off. I know we had a collaboration about burnout and taking time off, but like back to my perspective, taking that time off or taking like the week vacation I just had really helps with my perspective and really helps with letting it go, right? And just smiling and being happy and grateful for the job that I have. So and I have to remind my husband of this, who is not used to being at home quite so much, you know, that you can't just because you're working at home doesn't mean you work 24 hours. Like still remember to do those new things.
Right, because it's easy
that
to do.
Balance is so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up burnout because that was actually part of my notes, what to do if you're feeling burned out. So,
Hey,
mean,
take
Take
a
a break.
vacation.
Take a break. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And for me, like when I first started, I saw people that were getting burnt out and I thought, I don't know how you could get burned out. Like I think my energy was just so up there. I was just like going, and I loved it and it was no problem. And then right now I am kind of at that point and I'm taking a vacation. And so, everybody's going to be at different stages. And when you get to that point, you just go ahead and do what you need to do. And then Jason, I saw he had in the chat box that he opened a whole bunch of slots after his vacation and he's like really tired. So maybe that's not such a great idea. Kind of ease back into it.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that makes it difficult to unwind is that we have less options when we are being socially isolating, that ways that we normally might have released the stress of teaching or the stress of everyday life, some of those options aren't available. So I think it's a really good time to try something new as a change, because sometimes a change is as good as a break, they say.
Yeah.
So if you're not able to get out, yes,
very
like
good.
the painting, exactly, Amanda, but finding something else that is out of your everyday routine that you can kind of go into to rejuvenate yourself, whatever that is I think really important.
Like do your nails or
or start
Cindy,
that one thing that you never.
I saw Paula, she does makeup videos. Like
she does, she's doing really well with those too.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Cindy, we need to start messaging back and forth about walking because I haven't been.
I have been,
2 weeks.
I was gonna do an update on my walking because I was gonna do it on my own, and I've been slacking.
I can't wear my
that would be good
right now because I got a new one and it messed up my hand right here, so I'm waiting for that to.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely need to do that because I definitely haven't been getting in 10,000. But I think it's okay to take a break from that too. I think it's good to take a break from that too sometimes.
I think one of the things that made a lot of sense to me when I was just, I don't know, somewhere across the last couple of months is so many people will feel like this quarantine or not the quarantine, but the self-isolating time has been a waste of time. They didn't get to do so many things. So if you can pick one thing that you are able to do that you couldn't have done had you been in your regular schedule, then you will feel like this time accomplish something for you, and you will feel better about yourself as a result. So to kind of do something and take an opportunity that maybe you just didn't have time for. And it won't feel like a waste of time. It'll feel like, wow, okay, that was hard, but look what I was able to do. And I think that's important.
Closest friends is a single mom of 5 in where I used to work, and she's also a full-time teacher. She's actually doing a 1-2 split this year. So she was doing multi-age. She's a single mom of 5, and so she said, being home and working from home was kind of neat because she's like, I didn't have to commute. It's like I made all of the dinners before dinner time, and she was naming the stuff that they had done and working her garden, and so she found the little spin. But she's a homebody. She loved to be home. So for her, we would talk about that all the time. I'm like, I'm going crazy. I gotta get outside, and she's like, this is great.
I had planned. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I had planned on this year before COVID. I was so my dad passed away in January, and I had taken care of him for like probably 3.5 years. So all my time, besides work, all my time went to him, which was great. It was a blessing and a nice to be able to help him out. But I got really behind on my own stuff. So my plan was to. Nothing that's important to anybody. I had some, I do a lot of cross stitch, and I wanted to get things framed and, just different things. So while some people are like, I'm going crazy, I love being at home, and there's so many things to do. It's like, everybody's complaining about. I mean, I do, I love being at home, and actually not being able to go to the store is a time saver because I'm like, you go to the store and all of a sudden 4 hours is gone or whatever, because it's so easy just to look at stuff. And so for me, it's been a real blessing because I've been able to complete some of the projects that I didn't have time to do before. And I was going to say also, I was reading about Anne Frank, back in 1944. And I mean, we are really blessed. If we have to stay at home, it's like we have, TV, you have food to eat, you have, whatever. I read that they hid in an attic for 761 days. And there was about 5 of them, give or take, in a small space. So putting that in perspective, it's like, it's not so bad. We can go outside. We can, we can even go to the store. We're not, not everything is closed down. So it's, I don't know. I just try to put things in perspective and try to accomplish. And my daughter came home early from college, which was so nice because I got to spend time with her. We tried to have a game night. My husband's, he works overnights too. So, we try to do a game night once a week and it was so much fun, so.
Good. We'll have to chat more about Anne Frank. I visited her house and went through the attic and.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Was it smaller than you thought?
Honestly, it was bigger than I thought.
Oh, it was? Oh,
yeah.
good.
It's still an attic with a bunch of people. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
Some of the stories are really neat. We'd have to chat about it. That could be a whole nother thing. But the stairwell was so skinny, and it's really amazing to learn to go through that house and see they had pictures up and hear the story.
Well, my kids, I always said, you should keep a journal like, Anne Frank or Little House on the Prairie and stuff. And my kids be like, my life isn't that exciting. I don't know what I would write about. And I'm like, now I'm thinking, I wish they had, because, one of 13, that's a story.
So Kasie, if you have that conversation about Anne Frank, I'd love to be a part of it. My parents grew up in Holland, so my heritage is Dutch, and they helped hide people during the war. My mom was 9 when the war started, and so and my dad was 13. So that Dutch war experience is a big part of my history that I grew up with. But so I'd be happy to be part of that conversation.
Yeah, someone has asked, they told me I should start vlogging some of those experiences that we had while living over there, but I don't know how I would do it, but I guess we could figure something out. But yeah, definitely remind me, you know me. So I'd have to find my items too that I got at her house. We bought things from the gift shop and stuff, but since we moved here, I still have boxes unpacked. I've been here a year, so I guess I could have taken this time to unpack, right, guys?
We organized our garage.
Oh,
I've been so excited.
I think one of the
too
things
busy on YouTube.
One of the things I've been really grateful for is my husband's job has basically come to a halt because of COVID. He normally travels a lot. So I've been super grateful that this income has been here to support our family. We're really fortunate to work online and have an income that continues when so many other people's jobs have been affected. And for me, that's also meant adding some other opportunities for me to work from home as well. And that's actually been really fun. It's tiring to add the other things, but it's been fun too.
Yeah.
So, I think focusing on that part that we are able to benefit from in such an important way is great.
Yeah. Very good. Well, anybody else have anything to add about staying positive during this time of lots of changes? I think we pretty much hit whatever I could think of. I like that we all had different ideas and different spins on things too. So I hope we still have 15 in the chat. I hope you guys enjoyed our live today. And I just want to thank everybody for being positive. It was a very great chat here on in the panel up here and in the chat box. I know there could have been many opinions on this, and I'm just super proud that we're all staying positive and I don't know, chatting it up.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Kasie.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.